What's up guys, Nathan here. Today I'm going to talk to you about the bridge. Now what the bridge is it's an analogy that I made about 6 months ago when a couple of friends came to me with kind of the same problem. And I originally made the bridge an analogy for relationships. But the more that I got to thinking about it, the more I realized it can be applied to everyone and every walk of life. So what the bridge analogy is when you're born, you start out on this path. And for the most part, it's pretty easy. I mean, there's, of course, valleys when you get a bad test and you got to get out of that. Or a hill, maybe. You have to work a little harder to get something achieved. But for the most part, it's a pretty easy going path. But there's these gaps in this path, too. Huge gaps. And there's a bridge that crosses them. And it's like one of those really old road bridges. So you get to this big issue, and that's what these gaps represent, are huge issues. Losing someone that you love dearly, maybe a fight or a breakup with someone that you care about, maybe losing your best friend, and it might be even something simple, like maybe you're just having a bad day, but this bridge is in place. So you get to this big issue and you take the first step. You step on the old wooden board and it starts to creak and crack, and all the ropes on the bridge tighten up and they start to creak and crack, and it's a scary experience because you look down, and straight down is a 500-foot drop. It's a cliff. It's so deep that you don't even see the bottom of this deep abyss. And you stare down into the darkness, and you get really scared. And then you realize there's no going back, because you can't go back in life. So you're basically saying, alright, I gotta keep moving forward. So you take the next step, and the next, and the next. And then you get to the middle, and the wind picks up. And it starts blowing you this way and that way, and people are telling you, well, you should do this, maybe you should kill yourself, you're not worth anything. Or maybe it's people on the other side that are like, no, keep going, you're going to be fine, I'm going to help you through this. And you have these bad and these good fighting back and forth, swaying this bridge over this 500 drop abyss straight down. So you get scared. You fall on your knees and you tighten up as tight as possible because you're terrified. You don't want to fall. So you stop listening to the voices that are telling you do this, do that, and you say, I'm going to make my own plan. But even then, there's still that little bit of influence. So the bridge is still going back and forth. And at this point, you're terrified. That you're so terrified that you have stopped moving at all. You're not going forwards, you're not going backwards. You're going side to side, and you're letting the bridge control your life. You're letting this one bad thing that happened to you, this one death, this one breakup, this one whatever, control your life. And you stop. You freeze. You're terrified to stand up, because if you stand up, you could easily fall again. And you're going to hit really hard if you fall. And in times like this, they occur every day to someone around the world. Multiple, hundreds of people around the world have to deal with this. But sometime in your life, you're going to have to deal with these issues. And there's hundreds of them on this path. Hundreds of these huge gaps that are terrifying. And you get to the first one and you're like, I don't know what to do. But each one after that kind of gets a little bit easier. But the problem is people let these issues control their lives. And that cannot happen. Because when you let that control your life, you're letting fear control your life. You're scared to fall. You're scared to fail. And if you become scared to fail, you're not going to try anything. So what do you do, is the question. You're on this bridge, you're terrified, you're going back and forth, you're being rocked over this abyss, and then you go, here's what you have to do. You go, wait, this bridge has supports. And these supports are held up by your friends, your family, God. Everyone that loves and cares about you are holding this bridge up. They're not going to let you fall. They're not going to let you down. They're going to keep supporting you. Because when you get to that other side, when you get to that other side of solid ground and you're standing on that cliff edge, you can turn around, look at the issue and go, I conquered that. I just did that. And you can also say, I wasn't alone. And the bridge is a cycle. Because if someone helps you, you help someone else. Let's say your best friend is one of your supports. Well, then you end up being support to someone else. It's just gonna happen, that it's a cycle. And that's what's amazing about it. Everyone is someone else's support. And that just proves that humanity's not perfect, because everyone's gonna need help at some point. And the best part about the bridge is you don't have to go at it alone. Because on every bridge after that, those same people, and maybe probably even more, the more people you meet are going to be sitting there holding it, and the bridge is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger, and you're just going to keep going on this same path of success. These same people are going to be holding you up every time that you get to that bridge, every time you get to a bad thing, and it might be hundreds of bad things in a row. It might be someone dies, then you lose your boyfriend, then you fail a class in school, and then someone else dies, and it just feels like one crap storm after another, and you don't know what to do. But you know you gotta keep going. So here you are, you've just conquered the bridge. The main thing that a lot of people do, and this is a big problem, is they go, what about the next bridge? What about the next time someone dies? What about the next time someone breaks up with me? And they get scared. So they dwell on this next bridge. They dwell on this next gap that's gonna come. They might be way over there, miles and miles and miles, years away from this bridge, but they dwell on this one bridge that they know is gonna come. And here's what happens when you do that. When you dwell on the bridge that's gonna come, you miss the good times that you're having. If you dwell on the what if, you're gonna miss life for what it is. And that's what the problem is today. People do one of two things. They either let the bridge control their lives, and they just stop. They get scared. And that bridge, every time you stop, another problem will fall on you, and another problem, and another problem. And slowly you start to see these supports are starting to break away. It's not that they're not there to support you anymore. It's simply the fact that they can only do so much before this bridge gives away and you fall. This is why you can't give up. You gotta keep moving. You gotta keep walking, keep letting those supports hold you, because they're gonna be waiting on the other side. I don't know who this message was meant for. I just had a feeling, and I felt that God was telling me to deliver this. Appreciate likes, comments. Please share this, because there's a lot of people that need to hear this. Hope y'all enjoy. Talk to y'all later. God bless.